Dumelang, Goeiemorgen, and welcome to everyone that is joining us on our developer show. The name is Mandisa Mgodi, and today we are joined by Franco, who is right here in Midrand, actually. Franco, how are you doing today?
Oh, wonderful, Mandy. Thank you very much for having us. It's an absolute pleasure.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you for your time that you've taken out today. So, Franco, now we know that buying a property for anyone can be such an emotional and a stressy time for someone. Obviously, buying a product, you don't just wake up one day like, I want to just buy a property. It takes you a while. So with that, I think it's important that you develop a relationship built on trust from who you buy from, which is the whole aim of the show. So can you just tell us about the company's reputation and what would you say makes you stand out from other developers?
Well, thank you very much, Mandy. So we are called Foce Property Investment. We are a family-run, value-driven developer, mostly focusing on the Midrand area, but we've been building for about 25 years now. We also own a hotel on the south coast, close to Port Shepstone, called Umthunzi Hotel and Conference. And being sort of as I mentioned, a value-driven developer, we sort of pride ourselves on the product, on our quality, on our relationship with our clients, and ensuring that this sort of milestone in everyone's lives, when buying a property or investing in property, is the best possible experience that they can have, and sort of building a relationship going forward, and making sure that people invest in a dream home or in an asset that they're really happy with.
A dream home. I think that's what everybody wants. So most of your property, Franco, you did mention, is located in the Midrand area. Why would you say you chose this area to put up your residential properties?
So look, I mean, we've been in Midrand for many years now. So I think it's a little bit of the luck of the draw plus, good decisions from our management side, where we've ended up buying a lot of land and developing in Midrand. Wherever you go and you speak or listen or hear about hotspots in South Africa and property growth, Midrand's always on the list. And we are still sort of invested in that idea. Developing in Midrand. Wherever you go and you speak or listen or hear about hotspots in South Africa and property growth, Midrand's always on the list. And we are still sort of invested in that idea that Midrand is growing exponentially year on year. Every time you think the market is saturated, something new like the waterfall node pops up. There's a new logistics precinct or a new retail development. It's just growing and growing, and there's so much room still to grow. And slowly but surely, Midrand is closing the gap between Pretoria and Johannesburg. It's becoming this centrally located area that gives you access to sort of the whole of the Gauteng area. We have plenty of clients whose couples, one is working in Joburg, one's working in Pretoria. People sort of find it central to schools and shopping. And I think people are loving this idea of being centrally located. They're urbanizing, and they want to be close to as many things as possible. So we are firmly convinced about the value of Midrand. We feel it's an excellent area to be in, and the growth has proven it year on year.
I think now, slowly getting back to the flow of things, everyone wants to stay closer to work. Others do have the opportunity of working from home. Given the pandemic that we are facing, we are in level 3 currently. Can you just share with us some of the challenges that the company has faced during this time?
Oh, COVID-19 and lockdown. I'm sure everyone is tired of hearing it and ready to move on. Obviously, I mean, it's been a horrible time. It's really been a pandemic that's challenged the whole world and how we look at things and how we conquer challenges. Obviously, we've been severely, and I think most people in the property industry have been severely impacted in the sense that, we can't see our clients, we can't view properties. The deeds office is closed, or was closed. We couldn't register, and then obviously the biggest one is we couldn't construct. Construction was stopped. So it was a challenging time on the lockdown, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. People is adjusting. The safety measures that's coming out that we're obviously complying with, and that's allowed us to start trading business again. We're we're getting to see our clients. Construction has resumed, and I think this has obviously been now. I think that the lockdown period has created a bit of a pent-up demand, and this is a good time for us to start working on recovering the economy. And I think we'll see a lot of activity coming out of the market in the next couple of months.
There is definitely light at the end of the tunnel, I'm so happy that we are able to still be productive and still be proactive during this time, even if it does mean us working from home. Well, the beautiful development that we are talking about today is also located in the Midrand area. Can you just tell us how is it different from your other developments that are also in the same area?
All right, so Umthunzi Views, our latest development that's under construction. We've got parts of it that's already being occupied and parts that's under construction. I don't want to say it's different from what we've done previously. I want to say it's building on what constructed, to learn from the past, and see and get feedback from people who live in our things and in our units, and people who buy our products, and get sort of an idea from our clients on what works or doesn't work from our own experiences. So I would think Umthunzi Views is a culmination of our experience, and sort of driving us towards a goal of creating affordable, secure lifestyle estate for young families, young couples, first-time buyers, and that's serving quite a big part of the market.
Franco, Umthunzi Views, I think the name is just amazing on its own. What was the inspiration behind the name? I see that most of all your developments, do start with Umthunzi, whether Umthunzi Gardener, Umthunzi Valley. So just tell us about the inspiration behind the name.
So it actually originated from our hotel that we own and manage down on the South Coast, called Umthunzi Hotel and Conference. And, please correct me if I'm missing this, but my understanding is Umthunzi, it means a place of rest or a place of shade, and it's been something that resonates with us, and we sort of like the name, and we decided, we've just had it for the hotel, but that sort of mantra applies to residential development. It's your place of rest, it's your sort of safety zone. So we've picked up the name into our residential development, and we've been running with it. We've done, to date, we've done Umthunzi Gardens, Umthunzi Valley, and now Umthunzi Views. And the idea is obviously to create a brand that people recognize and know, that people can identify with, and then wherever you go, you know what is behind the Umthunzi name when you do buy one of our properties.
Well, yes, you are right in saying that it does mean, a place of peace, a place of shelter and rest. So I love the name to it. Just before we go on ad break, can you just tell us, I know it is currently off plan, will it be available just to purchase, or would it also be up for rental?
So in Umthunzi Views, obviously from a developer perspective, so we have units that's actually completed and ready, and some are still under construction of plan. So obviously units for sale, but we as a developer keep a small percentage for rentals. So there are rental units available, and we have a couple of investors that's buying and renting out. We're seeing an incredible demand for rental properties, and especially our Umthunzi units, for rentals. Just measuring on the amount of rental inquiries that we get. So we are scouring the earth for all the investors to come and buy, because we've got the tenants lined up. So we do offer both the rentals and sales, but predominantly sales. Our philosophy is also to have a development that's a majority owner occupied, because that we feel creates that lifestyle that we try and attain. You have people who buys and lives there, who buys into the complex, and that creates a good balance between tenants and owners, and that creates your best possible culture and community within the estate.
Thank you so much, Franco, for that information. So we're just going to take a quick break. Remember, guys, if you have any questions for our development today, that you can leave your questions on the comment side, and we will be sure to answer it. And remember, if you are looking to buy, sell, or list, that you can go onto our website. That's www.privateproperty.co.za. We will be back straight after this. located in the Midrand area, Umthunzi views, and we're just going to go straight at it again. So right now I want to know, what are the types of units that are available? Talk to us about the size of the unit. You know, space is very important for people looking to buy units. So, you know, that will be like a key area if you just tell us the size of it and the features that are available to residents.
Oh, of course. I mean, I would love to. So we've got 3 unit types in Umthunzi views, starting with our type A. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, ground floor unit, 126 square meters, with a 60 square meter private garden. I'm going to jump through the sizes and then we can talk about the units in general. We also have a type B, a 2-bed, 2-bath, 113 square meters with a big 17 square meter covered patio. And then we have a 2-bed, 1-bath unit, 93 square meters, which is more your lock up and go, you know, starting point for entry-level apartment. A big feature for us in all our units, 2 covered carports, regardless of the amount of bedrooms. All our units have got built-in braais. We know we're all South Africans and we love our entertainment and weekend braais. And then obviously the small things. I mean, what we pride ourselves on our products is the amount of time and effort we put into design, and with the philosophy of, if I live there, what would I want? So our units are DSTV and fiber ready. It's tiled throughout the unit. There's stone tops in the kitchens. One item that nobody ever moves with them when they move is a stove. So we've put a lot of effort into a big 5-burner freestanding gas stove. We've designed a separate scullery from the kitchen, so there's a bit of separation. Everybody loves an open plan kitchen, but not everyone loves dirty dishes. So we've got that bit of separation between them. So we're aiming for sort of a modern, up-to-date trend and feel. You know, there's a lot of small little features that I would actually love to show people when they come and view, rather than, you know, give it all away today. But the small, you know, we always say it's in the details. You know, our cupboards are designed for maximum space. We include linen cupboards because we know that's what people need. So from all 3 our units, it's a modern design, it's practical, it's useful, it's spacious, so that people can get the maximum out of it. In terms of the complex, biggest priority is top grade security. We have a massive boundary wall, electric fence, 24-hour guards, biometric access, and a visitor management system. And then we can't call ourselves a lifestyle estate if we don't have a lifestyle center. And from there, our biggest focus point. So obviously we have a pool, we have a kids play area, we have an area where you can relax. But the biggest feature for us is the gym. You know, we find that's the thing that people use the most. That's probably the best value for people who lives in a state like this. So we put a lot of effort into a nice big functional gym that people can use. And then also other extras on that is a boardroom, little business center, free Wi-Fi in the lifestyle center. But then also what we're doing new for the first time is we're creating a dedicated function area, because we have sort of learned that people like to have baby showers or kitchen teas or things like this close to home. So we created a small separate function area that people can rent from the body corporate and use for functions. And the whole aim of this, that also ties in with landscape gardens, walking paths, you know, all these sort of things to create an area where you want to live, you know, where you enjoy getting home and enjoy spending time.
You know, I always say that if I had a gym in my complex, I would be there like all the time. So I love that you'll offer that. Yeah, it's really important to have a gym. Just have to make the time to go there. Just tell us,
if it's close to home. If it's close to home, you don't have an excuse anymore. Eh?
Right, exactly. So can you just tell us, what are the price points that we are looking at for these types of units? Is there a securing deposit that is involved?
Yeah. So from a buying process, I mean, I just want to sort of start off is that we do deal a lot of time with first-time buyers or people who haven't bought property in a long time, and we've sort of identified that it's a daunting process. And there's not a lot of information out there. People are uncertain and unsure. So we sort of pride ourselves on providing people with the best possible information and guiding them through this process and going down this road with them. So all our sales agents, and from a head office perspective, you know, we walk the path with all of our clients. In terms of buying from us, you know, let's start with the prices. So our 2-bed, 1-bath, our entry-level unit starts at 1.22 million. Our 2-bed, 2-bath at the moment is sitting around 1.43 million, and then we have ground floor units starting at 1.74 million. when buying a property from us, we've tried to streamline the process. So there's a simple reservation form that you can sign on the day, because a lot of people don't want to do a big daunting, contract where they didn't have time to talk to someone or read it. So we just do a little reservation form, secure the unit so that you don't miss out. We ask for a 25,000 Rand deposit to secure the unit, which is kept by the attorneys, the transfer attorneys. And once that's paid, we set up an appointment with our clients to go through the sales contract. They get an advance to read through it. We can answer any questions. And once signed, we have dedicated channels to assist them through the buying process through our existing relationships with the banks, where we can guide them, we can advise them, but we also empower them to deal directly with the bank, to negotiate their own deal and to feel in control of this big process that they're going through. If their finance is successful, that 25,000 deposit we then use to cover a utility connection fee and your bond registration costs. So ideally, when securing a unit, you put down that deposit and you don't have to put down anything else. Obviously, if you can get 100% finance, but that's down to personal preference. Some people have got a deposit saved up. But I do find that we can actually cater to anyone, whether you have a massive 10% deposit or not. The market is ripe for buying, and we see it in the financing that if you can put down the 25,000 deposit, your credit score, and your earnings is in the right place, there's no reason why you couldn't get 100% finance.
Now, Franco, you did mention that the company deals with a lot of first-time buyers. And, buying a property for anyone the first time, you don't necessarily know the steps that one will need to take and the research, the amount of research that is required. What can one expect to get from one of your sales agents?
So what we try and do is we sort of try and centralize. So we have sort of trained up staff that's with our show unit. So all our inquiries, if you inquire online or you give a phone call, it comes to a centralized sales office where we have well-trained staff that's got access to all the information, the attorneys, the banks. But on our show days, we also have staff out there that can show people around, show them the unit, answer all their questions, but they also have, again, direct access to our pool of resources, should it be a question that they don't know off the hand. So we try and help people as much as possible in understanding it. I wrote an article for our website called Top 10 Property Buying Tips, sort of helping people through the process, not just as tips and how to buy, but understanding the process. What do you go through? What is the players involved? What can you expect from the attorneys? What can you expect from the banks? So from our agent side, they're always the friendly faces. They'll show you around, get you're interested and hooked into our property. But then we have an experienced team on hand to help with the technical questions. Our attorneys are always ready and standing by, and all the banks that we work with has been incredibly helpful in the past. So, I want to encourage people, don't be scared, don't be daunted by that process. There's a lot to be learned. There's no such thing as a stupid question. And this is an incredible opportunity to grow as an individual, experience the process of property buying, and learn for yourself. It's a valuable skill for sure.
Definitely, there's a lot of questions to be asked in this process, and finding the right company that's willing to just hold your hand through it, especially as a first-time buyer, is important. And just talking about the relationship that you do have with the bank, and obviously with the current interest rate that has dropped, due to COVID, would you say this is a good enough motivation for people to invest in property right now?
I want to stand on the street corner and scream at everyone to buy. It's the property cycle is in a buyer's, I want to call it a buyer's mode, or a buyer's market. Everything is ripe and ready. There's a lot of properties on offer. There's good value offerings out there. And with interest rate the lowest it's been in 40 years, it's an incredible opportunity for people. All of a sudden, a bond repayment is the same as a rental amount. It's starting to make sense to start putting your monthly money into your own bond and not someone else's bond. So I feel that drop in the interest rate, has been a phenomenal tool to sort of kickstart the economy, but also to stimulate the property. And all the people who've been thinking about it, sitting on the fence, people who've been searching around. This is the prime opportunity and the prime time, to get into the property market. Property is a long-term investment. It's not quick returns and overnight. It is over multiple years that you're building this long-standing asset. And to get the most out of an asset is to get into the market as soon as possible. So I think to benefit from this low interest rate, we are encouraging wherever we can anyone we can, this is a great time to buy property. It makes sense to upscale if you want a bigger property, because all of a sudden affordability makes sense. So we think it's a wonderful time for buyers. We are very happy to be developers with stock in the market so that we can try and assist these buyers, and in this opportune time to get into the property.
Well, property is definitely a long-time investment, and you are right, it doesn't just happen overnight, and the purchase, the process for it, it's really important to have a relationship built on trust for all parties that are involved, and we as private property are able to give a bigger reach and a voice to our developers. How would you say this relationship has helped the brand?
Oh, look, I think, I want to talk sort of a pre-COVID relationship and a during going forward COVID relationship. I think private property has become instrumental for anyone, estate agents, developers, to sell their properties. We're moving into a digital age where people have become, I don't want to say dependent, but reliant on on technology to assist them. And property being a traditional old asset class, is ripe for new technology, and private property has always been there. So for us, it's been instrumental in marketing our properties and getting it out there, where people sit. It's not the traditional Sunday drive to look at properties anymore. People are browsing bigger areas and things that they never would have looked at in the past. Going into a time like COVID-19 and the lockdown that we experienced, I think private property has been the saving grace for many developers, because it allowed us to still engage with our clients. And we could incorporate with that other technology like virtual tours and videos and photos and video conferencing, to keep in touch with our clients. And then, private property again was an instrumental platform in that. And I think going forward, the relationship with companies like private property will be invaluable in the sense that people will now expect developers and property sellers to make use of technology. People will not accept just, I have to go drive, I have to look, I have to call. People want to be on their phones, they want to WhatsApp, they want to see a virtual tour. It will help them sort of narrow down the list of properties when they do actually take that time to go and see it. And with platforms like private property, you've got a one-stop shop, with everything. We have high value on our relationship in the past, but I think going forward, it'll become more valuable than ever before.
Well, technology is definitely overtaking everything, but we are so grateful for it because it gives us an opportunity to do stuff like this, have a Zoom, live stream, and interact with our audience about, development. So I think it's very interesting times that we are living in, but it's all about us adapting and just finding new ways of doing stuff. Thank you so much, Franco. Do you have any last words that you want to say, any advice to our buyers and our investors during this time?
Well, from our side, first of all, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you for everyone that's watching. Our details, I'm sure, will be provided. Please visit our website. Visit us on our show days, which is Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays between 12 and 5. Come and meet us. Come and talk to us. We are passionate about the property buying process. So even if you're not interested in buying one of our properties, but you still have a property question, chat to us. We'd love to help you and advise you and grow the knowledge base of property investors and get more property investors in South Africa. We see it as the way going forward. We really want everyone to be safe. And in these trying times, we're finding our unique ways to go forward. But we still hope to see, a lot of people in person and hopefully get to sort of a new normal going forward. So we are extremely grateful for this opportunity, and we look forward for the times ahead.
Thank you so much, Franco. It's such a pleasure having you on the show as you shared with us today about the development that you do have in Midrand and just the information about the company. We really appreciate this. We want to be able to build a closer relationship with our developers. So it's such a pleasure having you on, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much. It's been absolutely my pleasure. I can't wait for the next one.
Definitely. So remember, guys, if you do have any questions about our developments, show that you can hit us up on the comment section and we will be sure to answer all of your questions. But until next time, remember to stay safe and to stay home.
Hi, I'm Jared Siegel. I'm a local restaurateur and the owner of Jared's Espresso Bar and Eatery in Sea Point. I'm a Cape Town local, Camps Bay born and bred, and I've been living in Sydney, Australia for the last few years. Living abroad, I've always been drawn to the mother city, and I've recently decided to come back home. Taking lifestyle factors into consideration, Bantry Bay has been the perfect fit for me. Living on the Atlantic seaboard really resonates with what I'm all about. From the active lifestyle, the amazing food culture, its family-friendly environment, and amazing natural beauty, the quality of life we have on offer is really unique. The Atlantic seaboard has some of the most beautiful suburbs in the country. With areas like Camps Bay and its world-renowned beach culture and the recent refurbishment of Sea Point Promenade, it's no wonder our neighbourhood has such a global appeal. After a long day of hard work, there's nothing better than taking a walk along Clifton Beach, sharing a moment and watching the sunset. Trying to offer something authentic to the community, I'm not about reinventing the wheel, just doing the classics really well. And this is my neighbourhood.